Happy Monday night, everybody. Welcome back to On the Sidelines with Sav. I am Savannah, and I'm here with a returning guest, Nick. How are you tonight, Nick?
Oh, Savannah, I'm doing pretty well. Geez, it's full of Wolfpack tonight. I mean, you and I are both watching the basketball game, Will Wade's coaching debut.
Yes.
I'm sure we'll talk about the big win, and Jacoby Brissett is starting for the Arizona Cardinals. So it's Wolfpack all night tonight. But
It is like God intended.
like God intended, yes. It's God in the Wolfpack for sure. But I'm doing pretty well. I can't complain. Had a great weekend. Probably one of the best weekend of sports with, oh my goodness, Saturday and the World Series, one of the best game sevens.
Literally.
Not only the best game seven, that was the best postseason of baseball I've ever watched in my life. Like, besides watching the Giants win the World Series, that postseason was incredible. Not just the World Series. I'm talking like Seattle, Toronto,
Yeah.
LA, Philly, Cubs, Milwaukee, even the NLCS. You know, the Dodgers destroyed Milwaukee, but we saw Ohtani do something that no one's ever done before.
Insane.
But Saturday night was great. I'm sure you had a great Saturday night. I know two people that stormed the field Saturday. You and my youngest sister was at the game too. So yeah, but I'm doing pretty well. You are a trooper. You're a dog. You were sick as a dog, I heard.
Yes.
You were texting Monty, Micah, and I. How are you feeling? And you made it back, I guess, back to Florida. Okay.
Yeah. Not feeling great, but you know what? Being sick is temporary. Watching your dad upset a top 10 AP team is forever. So I guess worth it. I will say, I feel like I need to clarify to the world that I would have never picked Syracuse over UNC had I known that they were starting their third string, actually lacrosse bro, true freshman quarterback. Apparently everyone knew that. That was not my first priority for the week.
I didn't know that either.
So yeah, I'm dumb, but you know, like that's where we're at. But yes, it was absolutely worth it. Changed all my travel plans so that I could be at the game because NC State has only won games I've attended in 2025. So
you need to go to the rest of them.
Yes, I will be at the rest of them.
Well, WANA is in the state of Florida, so that's kind of easy. It's Florida State, right? They're at Florida State?
They're at Miami.
They're at Miami.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's easy. That's like a 3.5 hour drive. And then I'll be home for the last 2 weeks. Actually, Friday night before the Florida State game, me and my friend TJ Pittinger, he's like really hilarious on Twitter, but he's like a big account. We're doing a live show at Amedio's.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So it'll be super fun. He's a Florida State like insider, so it'll be super fun. And my best friend, she went to Florida State, and so she's coming up and meeting my parents and everything. She never met my parents and staying with me and coming to that game. And then everyone's like, "You better be here for UNC, guys." I would never ever miss the UNC game ever. So I'll be there for that too. But
that's awesome.
Yeah. Are you going to be at any other ones, Nick?
The UNC game?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm actually I'm going to be in Texas.
Are you going to a game, or does that have to do with your fiance? She live there?
No, that does not have to do with my fiance. My sister lives in Austin, and her birthday is on Thanksgiving.
Oh,
So the family is going to Austin for Thanksgiving.
fun.
There's a chance we could go to Texas A&M that day.
That'd be
So
awesome.
that would be a lot of fun. And that Texas is sort of back, makes that
Yes.
game a little bit more intriguing, but we'll see. I do somewhat regret not going to the game on Saturday, but in my head, I was like, there's game 7. And do I want to, like, it all depended on my best friend. Like, if my best friend was going, he's got a house now in the Raleigh area, and he's got a spare bedroom. He's like, anytime
Yeah.
you come over, let me know. He was actually out of town that weekend or last weekend.
Uh,
So I had no really where else to stay because I didn't really want to drive back to Winston-Salem at like midnight and then be at
yeah.
work in the morning on
Yeah.
Sunday. I just said, you know what? I will stay home and watch it from my couch and enjoy it. And I thoroughly did, and it was awesome.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. You're right though. I forgot to talk about the World Series. We were watching I obviously watch my dad's games from the Murph from his office.
Right.
Um, that's kind of the only reason I went because I am really sick and battling the elements would have not been worth it. It would have been worth it. That's a lie, but it would have just been too much for me. And we had game 7 up on the projector. We were totally watching it. Because if you don't know, I love baseball. I know Nick loves baseball. We talk about baseball a lot too when it's not football season.
Yeah.
So, yeah. No, it was an incredible game 7. And it was fun. I know people are going to say they hate this, but like it was fun that it went to game 7. I love that.
Oh yeah. Who would hate that? I love that it went to game 7.
Yeah.
I wish the Blue Jays had won because I am a Giants fan, but um my goodness, that was that game was it was cinema. Thank you, Alex, Stanford football updates. It was absolute cinema. The plays, Rojas balancing, trying to catch his balance, throwing it to home to get the out. Uh, the catch out in left field. Oh my God. You couldn't write a better script. It was great.
Well, and forgive me if I'm wrong, because obviously I had a lot going on during the game.
Uh-huh.
But the Dodgers had to like come back. Wasn't it like 4-0 in the bottom of the 8th?
It was 3-0
Oh,
till
3.
the 6th inning.
Okay.
And then it was solo shot and then another solo shot. Then it was
Okay.
like 4-2 at one point. Then it was
Okay.
4-3.
Okay.
And then the Dodgers tied it. And then they took the lead. Crazy.
Yeah, I thought it was awesome. We did see the extra innings and we saw but we were like solidly watching bottom 8 on. I just couldn't remember what the score was when I turned it on.
Yeah.
Stanford football updates. Short answer, the Angels. And, and my whole family is Dodgers fans, like all of them. But my cousin plays for the A's. And so he's a pitcher on the A's, and I am an A's fan because of that. And everyone's like, oh, does he play? Yes, his name's Justin Sterner. He's like actually on the A's. He's not in the minors. He's on the team. So I always root for the A's too, or wherever he is. He was on the Rays before that. So I was a Rays fan then, wherever he's at. I grew up hating the Dodgers because my first ever baseball experience was a Dodger game. I was like 7. It went to like 17 innings. It was like 115 degrees.
Ugh.
I was like, I hate baseball, Dad. This is so lame. I vowed from that day forward to hate the Dodgers. And then my boyfriend in high school was a baseball player who loved the Angels. And Mike Scioscia was my mom's favorite Dodger, and he was obviously the GM for the Angels. And then I just loved Albert Pujols. And I saw my first Angels game was watching Mike Trout hit for the cycle, and I was just his ever first time hitting for the cycle. So from that day forward, I was an Angels fan. But yeah, Stanford
I got
football
a
updates.
little I got a little angel story for you.
Oh, let's hear it.
So when I was in high school, I went to an Angels game in 2015. My family and I did a trip starting in LA and going up
Oh, fun. Yeah, yeah,
PCH. Yeah.
yeah.
And we went to an Angels Red Sox game, and it was the first time I saw Pablo Sandoval, who was my favorite player on the Giants, not
Yeah.
on the Giants anymore. He was playing for the
Yeah.
Red Sox. So I wore my old Giants Pablo Sandoval jersey, and we went to the Angels game. By the way, cheap parking. Back then, it was like $10,
Yeah.
and I was
Still
like,
is.
still is? That's
Yeah.
amazing. That is still $10. I mean, even back in 2015, which is 10
Yeah.
years ago, is
Yeah.
great. But that game was one of the best games I've ever been to because I don't have the video anymore because it was on my old phone, like 2015. We're talking like an iPhone 4. Um, Mike Trout hit a game-winning homer in the bottom of the ninth with 2 outs, and the Angels won 1-0. It was
That's
one of the
amazing.
coolest games I've ever been to. So there's my little Angels
I
story.
love it. Okay, I have one question on your thoughts on Angel Stadium. It's a
Yeah.
really underrated ballpark, isn't it? It's beautiful.
It's up there for me. Like there's nothing like that screams like, "Oh, that is so bad about this ballpark." Like I've been to I think 10 MLB stadiums. I think the Angels cracked the top 5 for me right now. Like it's
Yeah.
very nice. Like,
Yeah.
it's in a great location. Parking in and out is
Yes.
very easy. Um If you're coming from LA, it's gonna be a pain because it took us
Yes.
3 hours to get to the game. Like, we had to
Yes.
leave at noon for a 5 o'clock game. It's like, "Why are we leaving so early?"
Yeah.
But, no, I do like the Angels Park. It's up there for me.
Yeah. I mean,
But
it's
nothing beats
definitely,
I don't know if you've been to Oracle.
I've, yeah, I have.
You have? Okay.
I've been to everything but St. Louis
Okay,
and the
that's up there for
Twins.
You've been everywhere else?
Yes.
You've been to Seattle's?
Oh yeah. This is like a Savannah fun fact. Her favorite thing, her like goal in life is to go to all of them. I get a hat at every ballpark I go to, so I'm just missing those two.
Oh my god. So I get a pennant every
Oh,
ballpark I
that's
go
sick.
to. And I have, like, a framed, scratch off thing.
Oh
Like,
yeah, yeah.
so you
That's so
take a
cool.
quarter and you scratch off the stadium you've been to. So I have that hanging
Yes.
up in my wall in the other room. But, yeah, I think I've been to 10, and obviously biased, but not biased, Giants number 1 for me, and then Pittsburgh's
Yeah.
awesome.
No, it's
Pitt
beautiful.
Yeah, PNC was great.
Yes.
I give Micah a lot of love because he's an Orioles fan, and, uh, Camden Yards is very nice. I like that one too.
Fun fact about Camden Yards, that's where my cousin had his debut. And so his daughter's name is Camden. But yeah,
Oh, that is so
obviously,
cool. Look at
yeah,
that.
I obviously love Camden Yards. And then I would say my top three. Well, I think it's just funny. I only bring this up because everyone's always like Dodgers, Dodgers, Dodgers. Angel Stadium is much nicer than Dodger Stadium. Dodger Stadium is also in the ghetto. So
Yeah.
I'll just put that out there. And the
Oh
food
my
at
god.
Angel Stadium is much better too. I know they had crazy food for the World Series. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a regular day for a regular game. Angel has have better food.
Yeah, my dad has been to Dodger Stadium many, many times being a Giants fan. He actually drove down when he was 16 to go see Willie McCovey's last game. If you
Yeah,
didn't know this, Willie McCovey retired in the middle of the season. Uh, so before the All-Star break, the
that's
Giants
crazy.
had a series down in LA, and Willie McCovey was his favorite player. So when he was 16, he drove down there in the middle of the summer. But he still rants about it. He's like, Dodger Stadium, it's in the ghetto. There's one way in and one way out, and you got to
Yes.
walk up a hill to get
Yes.
to the only entrance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. That's so funny. Our dads need to talk. My dad's a Giants fan also. So that's super funny. But yes,
Our
that's why
dads need to meet one day.
yeah, that's why I've been to Oracle because I mean, yeah, my dad's from San Francisco. So that's so funny. Anyways, we have so much time to talk about baseball because for me, baseball season is next. I kind of skip basketball entirely. I will support the Pack. I will always go to NC State games and cheer on Will Wade and all the things, but I don't know anything about basketball. But we're here for week 10 football updates. So sorry for the baseball tangent. We're just excited and love baseball. Okay. Let's start off with our Friday night game. There's nothing I like more than the Friday night ACC game. I don't know. Something about it every week just makes me happy. We had North Carolina at Syracuse. UNC won 27-10. Gio Lopez threw for 216 yards. Damon June was the rushing and receiving leader. He rushed for 101 and had 81 yards receiving. Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so obviously you and I, when we recorded last Wednesday, we did not realize Syracuse was going to their third string quarterback,
Yes.
who's a lacrosse player. But regardless, I mean, Carolina needed this win. I think Bill Belichick needed this win just to feel good about something. I'm not going to take a whole lot out of it because Syracuse is they're just a dead animal right now on the side of the road begging for mercy. Like ever since Angeli went out, or I'm sorry, and Angeli, I do that all the time with his
You're
name. I'm
good.
sorry, Steve.
You're
But
good.
since he's been out, I mean, it's been awful for Syracuse. It's like
Yeah.
that meme. I'm not a Guardians of the Galaxy fan, but I know the meme where it's like, did you beat Clemson? Yes. What did it cost you? Everything. It cost Syracuse everything to beat Clemson that day, because they have not won since. So I'm not taking a whole lot out of this game. These are like the two bottom feeders of the ACC. So I think Gio did fine. I think the offense did
Yeah.
okay. I don't know if you saw Bill Belichick's locker room talk after, like his
I
little.
didn't.
It was not the most inspiring thing, but I mean, again, it's Bill Belichick. Like, when is he ever? I think I'm just like being a hater.
No, I
Uh,
kind of agree.
but one thing I'll take away again, the Bill Belichick Jordan Hudson costumes for Halloween that I saw on Twitter, Instagram, awesome. They were
Yes.
great.
Every single one I saw, I commented on. Like, I didn't even care if it was good or bad. I was just like, hell yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
So funny. If I were to take something out of this game, I think that's a good question. It would be that Steve Angeli was bound to get hurt no matter what this season, because that offense did nothing to help that poor kid.
Yeah.
Literally not a damn thing. It was a close game for the first half. I watched the first half like intently, the whole thing, and then I was like switching back and forth between a couple things for the second half. And it was obviously Halloween, and so I was like giving candy to the little kids at the door. But like that man was getting wrecked. And so I'm like, where's the offense line? He was throwing balls that were like catchable. They weren't great, but they were catchable, and no one was catching him. I'm like, help a brother out. He's a walk-on lax, bro. What do you want him to do?
Right.
I don't know. I was super mad about that. I felt so bad for him. But yeah, I agree. Just kind of the bottom feeders of the ACC. It's just kind of is what it is, but funny to watch. All right. Next up, we're going to talk about the Georgia Tech NC State game last, because obviously, let's talk about Miami at SMU. SMU beat them in overtime, 26-20. Kevin Jennings threw for 365 yards. Crazy. Thoughts on that game?
Jordan Hudson. Wow. I guess she played for SMU as well because she was the leading receiver, 136 yards.
Oh, yes, of course.
Yes. Thoughts. Wow, Miami, you did it again. You did it, Mario Cristobal. You did it again. I am their ACC championship hopes are kind of gone now.
Yes.
That is 2 conference losses. Now if they finish 10-2, which at this point I don't feel really confident that they will. Carson Beck has not looked good in the last couple of weeks. That interception was not good at all. Man, every time you think Miami's going to turn the corner in a season, and then once November hits, like Cristobal's record in November is terrible. I think he's like 4-11.
Sounds right.
Yeah, he's just been not good. I don't know. Like this roster is so national title worthy, but I mean, Beck is just he's a roller coaster, man. He has great games, he has really bad games. Like he makes a lot of boneheaded decisions. Um and credit to SMU. I mean, after losing to Wake on the road last
Yeah.
week in heartbreaking fashion when Wake was literally trying to give you the game. To welcome in, the front runner in most people's minds of the ACC, and for Kevin Jennings to have the game that he did, like, because he was struggling pretty much as bad as Carson Beck was this season, if not worse, and he lit it up.
Yes.
Rhett Lashley, I mean, called a good game. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. This kind of hurts the ACC's chances of being a multi-bid league. I think obviously there's still a decent shot that the ACC gets 2 teams in. I mean, Louisville's still there. I'm not writing off Georgia Tech by any means, and Virginia is still undefeated in conference. So, yeah, it's I don't know, Savannah. What does Miami need to do to get over the hump?
Well, let's start with this. No, I did not see Carson Beck blame the offensive play calling. If that happened, that's a good place to start because it feels icky to me to have any players or coaches blaming other players or coaches. That's just a very odd dynamic, in my opinion. Like, you would never see CJ Bailey going up on the stand and being like, yeah, it was the offensive play calling. Like, I just don't see that happening. Like, not even, and I'm just saying that because that's like my team, right? But like, I don't see Haynes King doing that either. Okay, and so this did happen. I missed this interview. I would love to see that. That's just kind of interesting to me. I won't say too much because I know quite a bit. I think that how do I say this? I think you reap what you sow. It's not surprising to me, to be totally transparent. And it is disappointing because I agree. The national title like level of ability on this team is being wasted.
Yeah.
Like it is embarrassing that you have the trenches that you have and you're not winning football games. I also just don't think that Carson Beck is a good quarterback. I think he's and people are like, well, he can be really good. He can be really good. But one of the most important factors that any great quarterback has is consistency. You know what you're going to get week in and week out. You're going to have a bad day. You're going to have a bad month. Absolutely happens to the best of us. But we never know what we're going to get with him. And the inconsistency makes you immediately not a great quarterback, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, ACC might beat Florida, Alabama, Georgia, and Notre Dame twice and still only get 1 team in. Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
Facts. It definitely did. It definitely did hurt the ACC. But you know what? I'm always here for upset. Congrats to Rhett Lashley as well for signing his contract extension. I know people were worried about him going to Arkansas. I actually really love what he said. He said he'd love to, but right now is not the right time. And I think that's beautifully and perfectly said. I think he likes what he's building at SMU. I think it works for him. It shows that like there is a day and a time and a place for him to go back to his alma mater, but it's just not right now. I respect it.
Also, I think AKA you could probably add in why the hell would I go to Arkansas when a quarter of the teams in the SEC are open? All those jobs are open,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
Arkansas is kind of a mess right now. If I'm Rhett Lashley, man, keep building what you're building. You're going to
Yes.
finish easily top half of this conference without a doubt, but
Yes.
like top 4 probably. You're still in the championship running. You only have one conference loss. Miami's behind you now because you have the head to head.
Yeah.
The future is so bright for SMU. Is this team as good as last year's? I don't think it is,
Yeah.
but I mean, that's just kind of growing pains, right? Like, is Kevin Jennings the greatest quarterback in the world? No, but I think SMU is going to find a really good quarterback down the stretch. So,
Yeah.
uh, but yeah, I forgot to even mention that. Kudos to Rhett Lashley for signing the extension because I feel like the ACC kind of needs that type of coach in the league. Um, and yeah, what SMU is building, that fan base gets behind them. That is a
Yes.
great fan base too.
100%. Totally agree. I will make it a effort and a priority to get to a game there next year for sure.
Yeah.
Going into it's impossible to predict the carousel right now. That it is, which brings me to our next game. Notre Dame at Boston College. Notre Dame ended up winning 25-10. But Boston College really left it all out on the field this weekend. I'm not gonna lie. CJ Carr threw for just under 300 yards as the quarterback for Notre Dame. They had a good outing. Jeremiah Love, the running back for Notre Dame, he rushed for 136 yards, and Lewis Bond was a wide receiver for Boston College, and he was the leading receiver with 92 yards. Thoughts on that game?
BC hung tough, man. I mean,
Yeah,
they created some turnovers in the beginning. I think one of those turnovers got called back because of some
yeah,
penalty that was kind of BS. I did watch the first half of this game, and yeah, BC showed up. Um, Lewis Bond, man, I hate to see talent being wasted on such a bad team because Lewis Bond in my preseason top wide receivers was number 2 for me. Or actually, no, I think he was number 1. I think I had him like number 1 wide receiver in the ACC coming into this year. I just hate to see talent being wasted like that.
yeah.
But um, it's tough doings at Boston College, Savannah. They're 1-8 now. Um, I don't know. I feel like all of Boston College sports are really, really suffering because it's basketball right now, and I like briefly looked at the ACC scores, and Boston College is the only ACC school losing to a no name that I've never even heard of. I think. Um,
What a
so
disaster for the bitter ex-girlfriend.
yeah. Oh, see, all right. How am I gonna fit this into this recap? The friend tried to show me the goods and what I was missing out in the first half. She was like, "I know you
Yes,
missed this. I
yes.
know you missed this." And then I looked to God and I said, "God, let me restrain. Please help me find the restraint to not go back to my ex BC." Um, and I found the willpower, and guess what? The goods were not good anymore, Savannah. They aged like milk. And in the second half, BC let it slip. So we're not going back to the 1-8 ex-girlfriend.
This is
Uh,
my favorite analogy.
I'm gonna keep this going for the rest of the year. I will keep
You
it going for
should.
the rest of the year.
You
Uh,
should.
yeah. So she tried. She tried. I looked at the text, but I did not reply. So
I have
um,
a feeling the only weekend that the ex-girlfriend might get a reply is what I've been saying, red bandana weekend. It's
yeah,
coming.
yeah. But I will say, shout out to more on the Notre Dame side, but Jeremiah Love having like
Yes.
another awesome day. He's
Yeah.
going to be, I think, the only running back represented in New York for the Heisman Award winning or
Yeah.
award. But shout out him. He's been having a hell of a season and is really the reason why like Notre Dame finds themselves back in the playoff conversation, like deep in the thick of it. Granted, CJ Carr has been playing really well for a freshman. Like for a freshman quarterback, CJ Carr is a top 10 quarterback almost
Yeah.
in this country. But Jeremiah Love putting the team on his back for a lot of the time is doing a really good job.
Yeah. No, totally agree. Um, yeah, I agree. Their only playoff hope is because of the two of them for sure. All right. Number 15, Virginia traveled the 3-hour time zone to Cal, 131-21. Chandler Morris threw for 262 yards. Jamari Taylor rushed for 105. And Tron Grizzle received for 80. That is a Cal receiver. The other two were Wahoos on UVA's team. Thoughts on that game?
Man, I'm the only one that got this game right.
Oh, yes, of course. I even tried to help you out. I even tried to help you out and said, guess this means we both get this game right for this week.
Yeah. I would take that too. I would. But no, I mean, dude, this was a huge test for Virginia. They have
Yeah.
a tough, like we said last week, Savannah on JML. Virginia's got a tough schedule down the rest of the road, and going to Cal is not easy. And Cal is
No.
a very wishy-washy team with a
Yeah.
very wishy-washy coach. Like they're just up and down. And I
Yeah.
really thought that this would be a spot where you'd find Cal being up. They have a
Yeah.
ranked opponent coming into their house, time zone difference. And kudos to Virginia. Like,
Yeah. Oh, we lost him. He's back.
my back.
Yes.
Okay. All right, cool. Virginia found themselves down a little bit early, but then took the lead. And every time Cal tried to climb back, Virginia would just extend the lead again. Like they took advantage of every possession. Chandler Morris was great. Jamari Taylor, like you said, was awesome. Yeah, Virginia's playoff hopes are looking pretty good. Like this gave me a lot of confidence down the stretch. Like, it's them and it's probably Georgia Tech and Louisville fighting for the potential one or two spots in the playoffs. So
Yeah.
I like what I've seen from Virginia. But on the Cal side, there's probably a win somewhere. I don't think, actually, you know what? I don't think there is. I have to look. They got Stanford, I know, still coming up. And then
Yeah, and
they've
it's
got,
at Stanford.
yeah, at Stanford. Oh, it's at Louisville, at Stanford, then SMU. So Savannah, bowling's going to be tough for these guys. It is going to be tough. Like, say what you will about Stanford, but I mean, this is a
Oh
different
no.
Stanford team. Yeah, I don't feel good about Cal's bowling hopes right now.
No, not at all. I said it before and I'll say it again. I don't think that Cal beats Stanford this year. I think it also helps that it's at Stanford. But I just think that the trajectories they're on right now are going opposite directions and Stanford's is the one that's going up. I don't see a win left on their schedule.
Yeah. You think do you think Wilcox is gone? Like if they miss it bowling, like he's got to be gone, right?
Here's the sitch though. Who do you get instead?
I don't know. Like Ron Rivera has been like really good at being the GM, I think, so far
Yeah,
at
I
Cal
agree.
football. Um, I would honestly trust Ron Rivera to make the right hire somewhere out west. There's someone that he can find. Um, we'll see. I don't know. Cal would be a very interesting. And not only that, we forget Stanford's looking for a coach.
Yes.
So you have that going on as well. Like Frank Wright is not going to be there next year. So, Cowboys just blocked the punt.
Oh,
Are
wait.
they going to get
Wow,
it?
that's crazy.
Wow, touchdown. What a
Oh
what
my
a
gosh,
blocked
wait, I'm
punt.
about to see it. I'm about to see it. I haven't seen the punt. Oh my gosh.
They came running through. That was not even protected. That was like 4 dudes.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That was that, you know what? Hell yeah. I love stuff like that. Um, that was insane. I can't wait
Wow.
to see the replay.
That was a perfect block.
It was perfect.
Oh, okay. Hit him right in the helmet. He didn't even block it. The ball just went right into his helmet.
Oh, but yeah, where was the protection on that? That was awful.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Wow.
that's crazy.
Anyways,
This is a good point actually. They would promote Harsin. There's a part of me. Oh, there. Okay. Without getting into politics, there's a part of me that believes this, but there's a part of me that doesn't know that if politically that's the right move for Cal, in the sense that this person's political views are known and Cal already had a very big issue. Cal alumni already had a very big issue with that.
this is the Washington State guy, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
yes. Well, no, that's Rolovich. That's Nick Rolovich. This is the old Auburn coach, but he has come out very clearly about his political views.
Gotcha. Okay.
And when Cal hired him, all I saw on Twitter was people who were talking about his political views didn't align with the university.
I
Which
do
again,
think
I'm not I it's not, yeah, like I'm not saying that's right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm just saying like that would be a very interesting hire given the landscape of Cal University political
Berkeley.
ideology. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yes, Rolo is also on the staff. And that is the Washington State guy. And yeah,
That was the big one I saw.
yeah,
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. But
Are we
anyway,
are we still playing politics right now? I mean, come on.
I wouldn't normally say, like, I wouldn't under like any circumstance say this except for at a school like Cal.
At a school like Cal, it does not surprise me. And
This isn't,
I love you, Calgorithm, but
oh, same, same.
very funny group of people.
Terrible.
Yeah, but it
Yeah,
would be interesting.
yeah. No, I think that hiring Harsin or even Rolo, who I actually think is a phenomenal guy, a great head coach, was previously at or afterwards went to Northwestern. Uh, love him. I think they'd both be great head coaches. I just don't know that Cal is the school they'd be great head coaches at.
Right.
Yeah, speaking of the previous Pac-12, how about Oregon State Beavers 2 in a row? Yes. If you don't know, I got my master's degree from Oregon State.
I
So
did
go
not know
Beavs,
that.
baby. Yeah, ever since they fired their head coach, I guess they've been doing okay.
It's the fired coach bump, Savannah.
I'm telling you, that's a real thing. I think I'm gonna make a whole video on that because I think it's really a thing. It's the fired head coach surge.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's a thing.
Okay. Moving on to number 16 ranked Louisville at Virginia Tech. Louisville won 28-16. Miller Moss had an okay day, threw for 136. Isaac Brown rushed for 130. And Chris Bell, the leading receiver, with only 50 yards. It was a game that was definitely won on the ground by Louisville. I'm a little bit. I thought Virginia Tech was gonna win this one, and like I only say that to say like I thought that they were better than they are. This showed me where they're at, like what I needed to think of Virginia Tech. I don't think that they're very good.
Mhm.
That's what this game showed me.
Yeah, I mean, this was definitely a trap spot for Louisville, and I was nervous for them going into this game. And Louisville jumped out to a pretty good lead in the beginning, but
Yes.
um, kudos to Louisville for. Or no, I'm sorry. Did I say Virginia Tech jumped out to a lead or Louisville?
No, I think you said Louisville, which I think is right because then they caught up because Isaac Brown got hurt in this game.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So Isaac Brown getting hurt was a blow, but I mean, their backup running back scored the final touchdown.
Yes.
But yeah, this was big for Louisville. I mean, this was going to be a tough environment. We know what Virginia Tech and Blacksburg is like.
Yep.
Those fans have been chaotic all year with or without a head coach. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like it in the national landscape of college football, but this was a real test for Louisville. I mean, it's not easy
Yeah.
to go to Blacksburg. It's
Yeah.
not easy to play this team that's like, found some motivation and they have the whole fan base still behind them. Um, a team that has nothing to play for is the most dangerous team because they can ruin your season. They're just out there, the pressure's off, and they just go have fun.
Yeah.
And Louisville handled it very well. They are still in contention, and yeah, I mean, this is going to be very fun to keep track of. You better hope Isaac Brown is okay, though.
Agreed. Agreed wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we have Wake Forest at Florida State. What the hell happened to Wake Forest?
Wow. The defense was exposed. Florida State played motivated. They knew that losing streak was, looming over their heads. I don't know. I was honestly stunned by this.
Stunned.
Yeah, stunned. Like I stopped watching. Like after 21-0, I was like, I'm now just gonna flip through the World Series and State Georgia Tech. Like I don't want to watch this anymore. I don't know if it's like coming off of the high of beating SMU. Look, this was not the game Wake needed to have per
No.
se to go bowling. Like there are opportunities down the road. They still have Carolina and Virginia and Delaware and Duke. Like there's at least one
Yes.
win on that schedule.
Yes.
And what Wake has done this year has been phenomenal. But you're playing a desperate Florida State team at home.
It also was homecoming. I was told.
Yeah. Cassiano's played well.
Yes.
Deuce Robinson was great.
Yeah.
I don't know. Wake definitely got exposed. Like their pants were pulled down in this game for sure.
Yeah. I saw the funniest tweet ever. Someone was like, yeah, we have standards at Florida State. We don't lose 10 ACC games in a row. And I was like, honestly, that's hysterical. That's funny. Yeah, transparently, I wasn't watching this game. It was during the Georgia Tech NC State game. But at NC State, as they do at most stadiums, they show the scores of the other games that are happening. And we had the World Series on the TVs in the room, so we also couldn't see this game. And the first thing I saw was 42-0. And I was like, and it was like the third quarter. Yeah. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, I've been hyping up Wake all year. I think that they're a good football team, but obviously I was sorely mistaken. And I don't know what happened, man. They shit the bed, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
And Florida State, to their credit, they decided to turn it on. They decided to get to their A game. Do you think that regardless of how this season turns out, that Norvell is still the head coach at Florida State, even if they won out?
Yeah, I think if they win out, their Norvell will still be there. Because, like, look, listen, at the end of the day, we all had Florida State barely going bowling, right? Like
Yeah,
I had Florida State going 7-5 this year
yeah,
after a 2-10 season, you know? And
yeah,
I thought going into this season, if Florida State finishes 7-5, then yeah, Norvell is going to stay and he's going to build off from the 2-10 season. And
yeah.
hopefully next year is even better. Now, wait, their record right now is what are they?
I
They're
believe,
4-4. So yeah,
yeah,
7-5 is still on the table. I mean, their schedule isn't the worst. Like at Clemson, I mean, Duke just beat Clemson, Virginia Tech. I mean, let's be honest. I think at NC State is going to be the toughest one on their schedule.
yes. That's their toughest
Um,
game up next. Yes,
like I wouldn't be surprised if Florida State still like won the next 3 or 4.
agreed.
Um, And if that happens, like you get wins over Florida and Clemson and Virginia Tech, like yeah, and
Yeah,
you look back from their season, like their losses are actually pretty freaking close. Like double overtime against Virginia. They lost by 6 to Miami. They lost by 3 to Pitt. They went
yeah,
on the road and probably should have beaten Stanford, but they only lost by a touchdown.
yeah,
So at the end of the day, if they can win the next 3 or 4, then I think Norvell will be fine. And also that buyout is crazy, I think. Isn't it like over 100 mil?
yes.
Yeah. And they just spent how much on the Saudi Arabia thing? I I don't know.
No, that's
um,
facts. That's facts. I will also say this too, like, I don't know who had these like crazy hopes for Florida State. And I say that to say exactly what you just said. Like they were 2-10 last year. Most
yeah,
people don't turn around programs from 2-10 to 10-2.
right.
Like that just doesn't happen in one season. So I don't know what people were expecting exactly.
Right. Even in the transfer portal NIL
Yeah,
era, like, yeah, we've seen dramatic changes. Like, look what happened to Indiana. Look what happened to a lot of teams, you know? Like a lot of teams have seen like 4-8 seasons go to like a 9-win season. It
yeah,
happens. It happened before NIL and transfer portal. But
yeah,
I think what happened here, Savannah, was we got caught up in the Alabama win. And then
yes,
they destroyed the Cupcakes in the beginning of their schedule.
yeah,
And then when they lost to Virginia, it was like, oh, on the road Friday night, Virginia seems like they're a legit team, and they
yeah,
still are. And then they lost to Miami. It's like, well, Miami was right at that time was like top 3 in the country.
yeah,
And even after they lost to Miami, we all still said if they went out, they can still make the playoff. You know,
absolutely.
if they finish 10-2 with a win over Alabama, then yeah, they make the playoff. But they've come back down to earth. This is kind of the Florida State team. It's going to shape up to the Florida State team that we all kind of expected, like
Yeah,
6-6, 7-5, which is fine after going 2-10.
yeah, completely agree. Completely agree. All right, last two games. We have Pitt at Stanford. Pitt won 35-20. Heishel threw for over 300 yards, kind of freaking balled out. Turner, the Pitt running back, who I know all too well how good he is, was also a dog, rushed for over 100 yards. And CJ Williams, the leading receiver for Stanford, from a high school that I know very well. He's from Mission Viejo. That's why I say that. Uh, Also popped off. That was kind of the top of the leaderboard there. He received for 122 yards.
Mhm.
Stanford football updates said Heishel looked uncomfortable.
Are we sure?
That's interesting because he did throw. He did throw for 300 yards. I may have missed this. I was flipping between games when this game was on. This is what Stanford football update said. Three interceptions is why we lost in lack of a run game. Well, yeah. You usually lose football games when you turn the ball over and when you can't run the ball. So bottom line.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Look, Pitt, I'll say it. They're one of the hottest teams in the country right now. They are the quietest 7-2 team.
Yeah.
That no one is talking about the Pitt Panthers. They lost to West Virginia, which they should not have. Like, I still am befuddled how they.
So befuddled.
Like, don't know how that happened. And then the game against Louisville, which, I mean, they could have won that game.
Yes.
A great game for them. But since then, dude, they've been – the ACC championship is still on the table for Pitt. Like, it's not out of it. We have so many teams that are still alive for the playoff and for the ACC championship game. Mason Heinschel, I mean, probably didn't have his best game, but I mean, still threw for over 300 yards, put up 35 points. And like, it's, you know, three phases of the game. Your defense helped you win this game and put your offense in a great, great position. So, which we haven't really talked about the Pitt defense in a long time because we're all just been obsessed about Heinschel and what he's been doing. So kudos to Pitt. Stanford was undefeated at home at this point before this game.
Yes.
And I mean, they put up a fight. Like, I still think Pitt is really, really good. And for Stanford to, you know, put up 20 is impressive of itself.
100%. Yes.
Did get an update from Stanford Football Updates that Elijah Brown is now going to be the starter for Stanford throughout the rest of the season. So I kind of like the move. See what you got. Let's try to make something interesting happen down the road for the rest of the season. But anyways, shout out to Pitt. They are quietly the hottest team in the nation.
Yeah, and truthfully, they're going to need it because the rest of their schedule is tough.
Yeah.
They luckily have a bye this week before they have Notre Dame at home. Then they travel to Georgia Tech, and then they finish the season off with Miami at home. I think it's a successful season if you win one of those three. I have a feeling they'll win two of them. I think their only loss left is to Georgia Tech. I think they upset Notre Dame.
Oh my goodness. Pitt has a wide open opportunity to make the playoff.
Yeah.
Like, they would have such a great resume to finish off. And even if you lose the ACC championship game, like, I don't know, you have 3 top 25 wins to finish. It's an argument. I don't know if it'll happen. Like, I think they have to win. I don't know. Like, there are so many scenarios for Pitt right now. Like, beating Notre Dame would put them in the playoff conversation. Beating Georgia Tech, now you're like in the driver's seat for the ACC championship. So I don't know. Pitt could play spoiler here. Yeah, it's the Pitt Panthers are going to be a fun, interesting team to watch the last 3 weeks of the season.
100%. I truly think coming off of a bye and then getting Notre Dame at home sets you up for success. Can beat Notre Dame. I think at this point in the season with those two teams and how they're trending, does Notre Dame have a game this week?
Let me see.
Really fast. Yes, they play Navy. And Navy has been good. Their first loss was this last week to North Texas. So they're also not going to be, they're coming off of a rivalry. So Notre Dame is coming off a rivalry to play Pitt at home off of a bye. I think Pitt wins.
I think they would win too, honestly. Like, if Pitt wins, like they would ultimately open up a spot in the playoff because Notre Dame is done. Like,
Yes.
Notre Dame's not getting into the college football playoff if Pitt wins.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, it's going to be very, very fun to watch, dude. The Pitt Panthers are the most exciting team right now for me. Like, it's going to be a lot of fun.
100%. And speaking of exciting, we'll finish it off with the game that is obviously the most exciting for us. Right. Georgia Tech travels to Carter Finley on a Saturday night homecoming and gets beat by NC State 48-36. Haynes King popped off, threw for over 400 yards. Jaden Scott, their running back. No, that's our running back. I'm crazy. Yes, I was like, what? Our running back, the backup, might I add, rushed for almost 200 yards. Insanity. We also were without our starting tight end, Justin Dioli. And somehow our offense just went out there and busted that shit out anyways.
It was a classic Dave Doran spot right here. And Savannah, I wish I had seen the clip before we had put in our picks and you and I had done the show, because if I had seen this, I would have flipped right away and picked State to win this game. When Doran said, someone asked him, there are rumors that you're going to be retiring after this season. No one has asked you that. Can you address those rumors? He said, retiring? Like, no, I'm still working. Like, I'm still trying to win here. There's still so much to do. I have 4 more years left on my contract. And he was a little cranky. And as soon as he said that, as soon as Cranky Dave came out, I was like, we're going to win this game. Oh, my God. Dallas is going for a 68-yard field goal, and he missed it.
Oh, dang. It would be an NFL record. That's crazy.
He would have tied it because that happened yesterday.
Oh, that's what it was saying. That is insane.
Yeah. That's pretty funny.
He had the distance, too. It was just wide. Yeah, Salty Dave. Salty Dave doesn't lose college football games.
Dave is, when the season needs it most, Dave just has like the most clippable videos, like the one where he's smoking the cigar and drinking his Makers in a Dixie cup after beating Miami. The clip of him telling Steve Smith that this isn't a basketball school. I mean, anytime you need Cranky Dave, he comes out and gives you a big win like this. This is the second top 10 team in a row to lose in Carter Finley. Fun fact, my sister got to storm that one. Both my sisters got to storm that game. Dude, I am so jealous of my sister. She's in grad school now. Like, she's at grad school in Chapel Hill, but she still goes to all the home games. Because she's able to. Her era of NC State sports is probably the greatest in history.
That's awesome. I love that
Like,
for her.
going into her freshman year, the baseball team was going to the World Series.
Yeah.
So she's seen two. She saw the Final Four run. She has never seen us lose to Carolina. She saw both times the football team beat Clemson at home.
Damn.
Yeah, she's seen State beat Clemson twice. I've never seen them beat Clemson at a game. The last time I saw State play Clemson at a game in person was my senior year, and Trevor Lawrence put up 28 points in the first quarter. Oh, she has seen it all. She was at the State Carolina game in 2021, the Devin Leary game.
Yeah.
I got to go to that one, so that was fun to storm. But she's seen it all.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but this was, I mean, for the State side of things, this was great. Like, the season is wide open, and just when you thought that the Wolfpack was like, we're not going to go bowling, this is probably Dave's last year. Right when you thought I was out, they pull me right back in, Savannah. And now the rest of the schedule looks so wide open. Like, these MFers could go 8-4, and it's just like everything's fine. Like, what else? It's NC State, and we're gonna go 8-4 and win a game that we're not supposed to, and lose a game we're not supposed to. Like, it's just classic. But on the Georgia Tech side of things, I think they'll be fine. I'm not going to look back, but I'm going to wait till the end of the season. But when I did Georgia Tech's preview, I had them going 11-1, and the one loss was to NC State.
Yeah.
So I still have them beating Georgia this year.
Same.
Like, all will be forgiven for Georgia Tech if they can beat Georgia.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. Like, don't look ahead to Georgia because you don't want to slip up again. But I think a positive you can take away from this is we want to talk about CJ Bailey and how a credit to CJ Bailey, deservedly so, had himself like an NFL type of game.
Yeah.
Injured too, by the way. Haynes King was the leading passing quarterback. And Haynes King doesn't pass the ball.
No.
Like, he threw for over 400 yards. So, like, when you need him to do it, he can do it. And I think that's what's going to be the difference maker for the Georgia game in a few weeks. So I am not worried about Georgia Tech. Just put your heads down. You got humbled. And I think the playoff is still in front of them. So
100%. I mean, I think they went out personally. They traveled to Boston College. I mean, I almost say, no offense to Boston College, I almost say you like start Haynes and Jamal Haynes, Haynes King and Jamal Haynes, the first drive. You score, you shove it down their throat, and then you pull your starters. And just let that be a game like that. And then
you have a really good backup quarterback.
100%.
Aaron Philo is really good.
Yes. Yes. And so is their backup running back. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but he's also not bad.
Yeah.
And then you have Pittsburgh, and they're home. They come to Georgia Tech. I think that's good for them. And then obviously Georgia is not at home. It's at the Benz. And I do think that they went out, and I agree with you. I think that their only loss is NC State. I think that they do win out. I tweeted it the other day. I saw some fans who were melting down that were Georgia Tech fans. Brent Key is my hands down outside of Dave Dorn. I love Dave, and it's biased, but outside of Dave Dorn, unbiasedly, Brent Key is my favorite coach in the ACC. You are in good hands. He is a great coach, an even better man. And like, truly, I am rooting for Georgia Tech every single week except for last one. And I think that they're just fine. I think that they're just fine. And I agree. I think they'll beat Georgia and they'll make it into the college football playoff. Have I heard the rumor of FSU trying to poach Bailey? No, I haven't, because They're okay, great. Good for them.
I've
CJ's
heard it in the beginning of the season, I did hear Miami, but
I did too, but guess where he is right now?
NC State. That's all that
Exactly.
matters.
Exactly.
He'll be fine. Yeah.
But let's talk. But we will now put on our very biased Wolfpack Nation hats and talk about NC State for a second. Yeah, CJ Bailey balled out, baby.
Yeah.
Honestly, also not biased. The O line did so damn good.
Really good. They must have a great offensive line coach.
I mean, maybe possibly the best in the ACC, but that's just my thoughts.
I heard there's a couple of draft picks on that line as well. So
I've heard the streets be saying the right things then.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, and truly, like I think truly that nobody had any expectations for this game, especially with our like all ACC running back Hollywood Smothers not playing. And I think it also probably hurt that I think in the same way that people were hoping that like had no expectations because Hollywood was out. I think they had the same idea of Justin Jolie not playing, but Dante Daniels, he also had a game. Like it might not have been seen if you are just like a casual fan who sees who's catching the ball and this, that, and the other. But like he blocked his ass off. So did Scott on the plays that they needed to block in pass pro. Like they were phenomenal and stepped up to the plate.
Mm-hmm.
And here's my question for you, because I can't answer this question. I can only ask it.
Okay.
When Hollywood Smothers and Justin Jolie are healthy, do you play them after the showing of Dante Daniels and Jaden Scott against an AP top 10 team?
I mean, yeah, right? Like
I'm just throwing it out there for conversational purposes.
I think you still do. Like Hollywood has been one of the best backs in the country. Like
Absolutely.
he's a top 5 back in the
Yes.
country. He's the best back in the ACC. I think you still play him for sure. I think my only pause of that would be like if the ankle's still bothering him, you still have Scott in your back pocket.
Yeah.
So like maybe the reps come down a little bit. And for
Yeah.
Jolie too, like this isn't Jolie's first injury. He
Yeah.
has been bitten by the injury bug before.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, you still play those guys. You get them involved in the offense. Like this is the best the offense has looked in a little bit. And get them back involved. Like now you're open to all of these weapons. And also shout out Noah Rogers. He had himself like a day as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this offense in the last 3 weeks of this season is going to be very lethal. Like this is the type of offense that we all kind of expected throughout the season. So we'll see, but I think you continue to play them and just be grateful you have. I mean, now that you know what you have on your bench with playing Jaden Scott, like there's probably a good I don't know play calls where you don't see something coming. I don't know, get them involved in some trickery. That could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think it's been good when we've gotten Will Wilson involved in like a trickery or like a this or here or there play as well.
Right.
Yeah.
And like this is both their last years, right? Like Hollywood is going to the NFL. Jolie is out of eligibility.
Yeah.
So yeah, play these guys. Play them till the end.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Like they came to NC State to play. Let them play for sure.
Yeah. No, I love that. I love that viewpoint of it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is that the offense played balls to the walls. Like they played amazing. But they actually statistically had a better game the week before against Pitt. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy. Yeah.
The week against Pitt was the third time ever in my dad's 30-year coaching career that he didn't have a single negative play in the whole game.
Damn. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. Isn't that
That is
crazy?
great.
I know it sucks the outcome of the game and it doesn't matter and it's this, that, and the other. But I will also like to give credit where credit is due. The defense. And I say that to say, like, truthfully, everyone had to have known that coming into this year, the defense was not going to be great for NC State. We lost everybody to the transfer portal. We didn't have recruits to back that up, and that's to no fault of Elliott's. And we have a new defensive coordinator. We just don't have the guys. Shout out to the ones who have fucking stepped up. Caden Fordham. There's a couple others. 54. Can't think of his name off the top of my head. They really,
Frank
really,
Cleveland.
yes, thank you. And also, there's another one. What is his name? That's gonna bother me.
Sebastian Harsh.
Yes, thank you. They have really this weekend they really embodied bend don't break. They had 2 4 down. I mean, the first one obviously resulted in a touchdown. I know on the third down they got it, or on the fourth down they got it. But like 3 in a row goal line stops, and then to just give it up on a pass play on the fourth down, and then to have an actual goal line stop on 4 downs. And then, like I said, bend don't break. They're gonna give up points. But you know what? They gave up 3, a lot more than they gave up 7 to Haynes King, who is arguably the best quarterback in the ACC.
Yeah.
So shout out to them as well. Yes, hilarious fun fact. The top of the ACC is a combined record of what? 16-2. And those 2 losses are to the Pack, baby. That's hysterical.
Yeah. Yeah. I tweeted out from my personal account. Like I had a mega viral tweet like a couple of weeks ago about how I was not impressed with like the wins the SEC was putting up. And I quote tweeted it on Sunday and was like, NC State has better wins than all these teams, which is true. Like, I think all the teams I listed, except maybe Vanderbilt, because Vanderbilt has like a couple of good ranked wins.
Yeah.
State has like better wins than all of them. So funny. So funny. The NC State fan in me, Savannah, because like I was talking to my best friend a couple of weeks ago. We were on the phone and state football came up. And I was like, God, dude, imagine if we had this offense and then the Peyton Wilson, Isaiah Moore, Drake Thomas defense. Like, oh, that team would be so nasty. Like, the offense before those guys, like with Devin Leary, that offense was great. Like, I do compare the two. Like, Devin Leary was awesome. CJ Bailey's awesome. Devin Carter's great. Justin Jolie's great.
Yeah.
Except I think the difference is this offense has the better running back than that offense of 4 years ago, for sure. It's not even close. But we just talked about it and was like, oh, one day it's going to happen. But
yeah,
I want to address something, and it still has to do with this game. Okay, so this is the NC State fan of me, and so I do apologize, but it just comes out. Are NC State fans spoiled? So, to give people a little bit of context, granted, since Dave Dorn has been there, the football has never been better, right? Like, I think we can all agree they've had one 10-win season, and that was with Phillip Rivers, okay? Before this game, people were definitely calling for Dave's head. Like I
Absolutely.
even heard it on like I think who did Pardon My Take have on? I think they had on Andy Staples, and they were talking about like future college football jobs that are going to open. And he listed off like, maybe Cal, maybe this team, maybe that team. And then he mentioned NC State, he mentioned UNC. So like national media at one point has been talking about it. Now that that's probably quiet down, now that it's probably like, you know what, we could win the next 3 games. Like it's likely we can. I don't know. Like I'm not calling for Dave's head right now. I'm absolutely not. That was a great win. But our state fans spoiled, like, because it really has never been at this level of consistency. But I think at the same time, it's okay for fan bases to want more. Like you do taste some success, and it's like, all right, so if this is what we're going to be trotting out for the last 13 years, and you see all these other schools making these changes, and a lot of them for the good. Like, look at Indiana, look at Duke, look at, I mean, granted, Carolina is swinging and missing, but at least they're kind of trying to put something out there, right? Um, I don't know. Like, am I being crazy? I don't know.
Yeah, I see your point. I'll say this. Obviously, like a very subject that I need to be careful discussing
Right.
publicly. I think that fans are entitled to whatever opinion they want, right? Like people chose these jobs knowing that this comes with the territory. So
Right.
say whatever you want, right? Um do I think that NC State could make a 12-team playoff as it stands now with the coaching staff, with the NIL funds, with the players that they have? Yes. Yes, I think that they could. Um I will also address this in a second. I think they could make a 12-team playoff. But like here's a great comparison. Tennessee.
Yeah.
Tennessee has the budget that they have for their quarterback is what NC State has for the whole football team. I'm not saying that those are exacts, right? I don't know the numbers. I'm not trying to make this a numbers thing. I'm just saying that, like, comparatively, it's about that big of a financial difference in NIL, right? I know how much some of the offensive linemen at Tennessee are making. I know how much some of the O linemen at NC State making. Disclaimer, my dad didn't tell me, nobody told me. I know these people personally, privately, separately. This is classified information that like has been shared with me in confidence. And like you can't compete where you don't compare. And even Tennessee is not going to compete for a national championship. They're not even going to make the 12-team playoff. And I think people would say Heupel is one of the best coaches in the country.
Bogus how they're still 23, by the way. Just putting that out
Totally.
there.
Completely agree. You lost to Oklahoma team that's like very hit or miss. I don't understand. So it's just like you can't compete where you don't compare. And I think what really needs to be taken into consideration, and everybody knows I'll never be pro firing coaches. Do I think that there's times to separate yourself, the coach and a school? Absolutely. That comes with the territory again. I'm not saying I don't get it. I totally get it. But you need to look at the level of talent that they're received that come to NC State. I think any fan base needs to do this. You need to look at the level of talent that is coming into your school and compare it to what they output. And if that output is drastically different, like Dave's is, the output, what he's bringing in versus what he's putting out, which is pretty consistently a top 25 product. I mean, truly, what more like what more do you want? The bottom line is that all fan bases are unrealistic. Every fan base is like, we can win a national championship, when the reality is, no, you can't. Some teams are just 8-4 teams. And I'm not saying that it's not like that it's there's just some teams that will always be 8-4 teams. There's some teams that are just like Virginia, for example. They're a team that a fan base that should be happy with 8-4 until they got a $10 million whatever to spend on NIL. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I get why people's feelings would be one way, but I also think that every fan base in the country has unrealistic expectations, truthfully. Except for like, maybe it depends on the year. I think it depends on the year. Like, I think this year, for example, if you're a Tennessee fan and you're disappointed you're not going to make the 12-team playoff, that's realistic. That's valid.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, I see it from both ways, because you're 100% right. The talent that Dave Doran has gotten in the last, decade plus does not compare. But he has turned these guys into, NFL draft picks, really good, football players. And, it's weird with NC State, because they will have a season going. They will have a season going in. How am I trying to say this? They would be going into a season where there are expectations.
Yeah.
Like this year, I didn't really know what to expect. Like, where I really dissected the schedule, I was like, the best they can do, I think, is 8-4, and I would be happy with that.
That's realistic, right? In my opinion. That is a very head-on, realistic opinion of the outcome of this season.
Yeah, and then when you look at last season, everyone had, including myself, I think including Micah, had this state team going to the playoff. All the transfer portal guys they got, like Noah, Rogers, Hollywood. We kept KC. They brought in McCall, but even when McCall got hurt, like CJ looked really great.
Yeah. I'll say this because Dave already said this publicly, that he'd rather coach this year's team over last year's team every day of the week.
I like to hear that. Yeah.
Because I can't remember the exact quote, so I'll find it and tweet it. But like, there was a quote where he said that like last year's team didn't love football, didn't get along, and all those things that I just don't want to say too much, like the team does this year. And that stuff matters, like, more than you would ever know. And like, that's just, and I'm sorry to cut you off, but that's just things that like you wouldn't ever see. You know what I'm saying? Like, you would have no idea we're part of the issue until Dave publicly says it a year later.
Yeah. And I do think, like I said, I think because fans will bring up like Dave's record in the ACC, they'll bring up his record against top 25 teams, his bowl record.
Yeah.
And all valid. But I think you make a great point again. The talent is just, in the state of North Carolina, you're competing with a lot of schools.
You are.
You're competing with Carolina, you're competing with Wake, Duke, at times ECU and App. Yeah. Like, it's a unique state with a lot of schools that are competing for all these guys. And, North Carolina has a lot of talented high schoolers.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just weird. Like, I thought that after the Virginia Tech loss, this would have been a season that would have been a downward spiral, and maybe Dave was going to be done. But but again, at the same time, I think it's okay to, like, fans want to go to the ACC championship game, because it is crazy that this program has not won an ACC championship since the 70s.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that's crazy. I think making an ACC title game is a realistic expectation for NC State fans. As much as NC State fans want to go to an ACC championship, I can promise you the players and the coaches want to more.
Yeah.
The bottom line, I guess, of it, and it just sucks that this is the landscape of like, it comes down to money because some kids still care about like being recruited and this, that, and the other. And actually, to be honest, like kids that are transfer kids don't care that much about all that crap and just like want to get paid enough to do this, that, and the other, right? But like, if some kid takes $4 million to be a left tackle at X school, we won't put blame on anybody. Like, NC State's not giving that amount of money out. And also, how can you tell a kid to not take that?
Right.
How can you be mad at some kid for choosing that instead? This is what it says. These days, it really comes down to money. Everyone's like, look at what Virginia's doing this year. Yeah, they got like $10 million just to spend on the football NIL from some random donor.
Yeah.
Shit works. Well, imagine that. An extra 10 mil works.
Watch what happens to Stanford in the next couple of seasons.
Yeah,
with
no,
that
that's
50 mil that they got.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, it is very crazy. I had another point that I wanted to make. Oh yeah. I don't think I've said this to you, but I've said it to Micah, and I have said it on our show to Alex, Stanford football update. So I'll say it to you because your dad is the coach. You have ties to the program. So I don't know why it bothers me so much that I heard this, but it did, and I respect the guy. You know who Joe Giglio is?
Yeah, I can't stand him, but yeah. I just can't stand his takes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I have met him. He's a nice. When I met him, I was at a a Duke State baseball game last spring. And I told him who I was, and basically he went on a show that I used to work for in Kernersville, the Josh Graham show. And I worked with Josh for about a year, and I know that they go on each other's show a lot. And after the Virginia Tech loss, Joe went on Josh's show and said, I think NC State just put all the money and all the caring into basketball when they hired Will Wade. And at the end of the day, it's a basketball school. At the root of NC State, it's a basketball school, which could be true. They have national titles. They just made the Final Four. Like, you can win at NC State in basketball. I mean, Kevin Keats took us to the Final Four. DJ Burns took us to the Final Four. DJ Burns took us to the Final Four. But anyway, you can win basketball at NC State. I find that so hard to believe. I know we're going really long on NC State right now, but I find that so hard to believe because why are all the basketball schools beating us in football? Duke has beaten NC State 3 years in a row.
I know.
Indiana has the most losses in FBS history, and they are number 2 in the country coming off of a playoff appearance last year. Kansas is not like little old Kansas anymore, you know?
Yeah.
Like they have built something in the last 3 or 4 years. And again, Carolina, they swing and they miss, but at least they try in football, right? Like they went out and got Bill Belichick. And look at Virginia this year. Another basketball school that is 8-1 and probably going to the ACC championship game.
They have money.
So, like, I don't want to hear that the AD and the administration doesn't care about football anymore because I don't think that's true.
Yeah.
If these basketball schools are doing the things that are needed to be done for football, then there's no world in my mind where NC State can't do the same thing.
Yeah, I again, that I feel bad saying this publicly. I'm not like a hater. I don't like his takes because they're takes that have no base in reality or fact when you say things like that just simply aren't true. I know Luke Corrigan cares a lot about the football team and that football is successful at NC State. Because everybody knows the bottom line is that basketball schools don't make money. Like the year that the University of Virginia won the national championship, 2019, obviously I'm using this as the example because my dad coached there at the time. Football still made more money than basketball did that year. Like you don't
see, that's so crazy.
You don't make money from basketball. You only make money from football. So the fact that some random man who thinks he's an insider for all the North Carolina sports teams is just saying a take that he feels like saying. No, it's not true. And I'm not saying, yes, Joshy, his takes are 100% accurate. Yeah, same. Mine are never wrong. Yeah, and like I said, I never want to discourage people from talking about stuff online, and I know we are going super long, and especially on NC State. But like that's exactly what it is. Like it's hearsay. And I guess we'll end it off with a great life lesson. Don't believe everything you see online. Don't believe everything you read online. Don't believe everything that everybody says. Last week, some girl was saying any college football coach would die at the opportunity to be an NFL coach. And I mean, I'd like to say I know more college football coaches than the average person, especially the average person in sports even. And I know so many college football coaches who would never touch the NFL. And so it's just like people are saying shit. Like, what? Where did he get this from? And I'm sure Will Wade's contract, just with the landscape of sports these days, had some clause in it about how much they needed to spend or how much he needed to have available to him or whatever the case may be. There's no doubt in my mind, right? But there's an NIL event every summer for NC State football, and you have to be a certain level of donor to get invited, and you have to donate a certain amount to be able to attend the next year. And all I can say, and I don't want this to be like a push the product thing, but like whoever your team is, if you want to see them be successful, you're going to have to donate. And that looks out for, look at Texas. Look at Texas. All the Texas schools, right? Texas Tech. Why are they good? They have money. Why is BYU good? Because those Mormons got money. Why is Oregon good? They got that Phil Knight Nike money. Everybody who's good's got money.
Yeah.
And I'll say this. We're all engagement baiting online, but journalism and journalistic integrity is low because anybody can have a platform. And I'm not telling Joe to cancel a show, and he could probably care less about my opinion of him. And I'm sure he's a great guy. But when people say stuff like that, it is harmful. Like why are you saying that? For clicks, I guess. Maybe I should follow him, start responding on his stuff.
Yeah, because I probably should have. I think I still follow Josh's show, and it came up on my feed. I should have commented on that or something.
No, I'll go find it right now and comment.
Yeah, it's just it was just so hard to believe that a school is only going to focus on one sport. When Micah and I have been doing this for a long time now, and him and I always talk about Duke, just how impressive Duke athletics has been in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Like their baseball program is awful. It's awful. They could not, they had to bring in bleachers for the super regionals.
Yeah.
They had to bring in, they don't have a bathroom. They have to bring in porta potties. Like the media has to sit outside, which is fine. I kind of enjoyed that. But it's like, but Pollock took them almost to the World Series so many times. And guess what? They made a fantastic hire in getting Corey Muscara, one of the hottest names in college baseball the last 3 years. And then you look at the football side of things, like they hired Elko. Elko got them to a 10-win season, consistently winning 9 and 10 games. And when he left, what did they do? They went and got Manny Diaz, a coach that Micah and I thought got done dirty a little bit at Miami.
Screwed by Miami.
Yeah, like Micah and I will never forget it. Micah and I, after Manny Diaz was fired from Miami, were really shocked.
He was
like,
done
granted,
dirty.
is Miami doing a little bit better? Yeah, they're doing a little bit better, but they're same old Miami.
Yeah.
They still lose when they're not supposed to. But now look at Diaz. His first year got him to 9 wins, and they're probably going to get like 8 or 9 wins again this season at Duke.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I know.
So,
I know it comes from an investment and a good hire. And look, again, I'm not disagreeing with you on this is a good point. They're such a small school in a saturated market. Yeah, no, I think it's very impressive. I think it's very impressive. And I don't know who you give kudos to. I don't know if you give kudos to the AD. I don't know if you give kudos to the university for being like, hey, we're really going to take a stand on making athletics important, as every university should, because it's the only place you're getting revenue generation from. And I mean, I guess some other research stuff, but like nobody cares about that unless it's like what you're studying. So I don't know. No, I completely agree. And I think, I don't know who you owe the credit to. I don't know. I don't keep track of Duke's offerings, and maybe they're really paying people. Maybe they have some large endowment that they're using for it. But no, it's impressive for sure. I don't disagree at all.
Yeah. Yep. So that was fun talking NC State, Georgia Tech.
Yeah. I swear we talked about all the other teams. We just went on a tangent about NIL and stuff like that. And if you love baseball, we talked about the MLB for like the first 15 minutes also. But it was a fun episode. Thanks so much for coming on tonight, Nick.
Of course. Of course. Anytime. Love doing this.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
We always have a great time. Well, everybody, we are signing off. Catch us on Just Means Less ACC later this week, talking more about the ACC, our favorite conference. We have a group chat. It's called ACC Homers because that's exactly what we are.
Yeah.
So fun. Nick, where can we find you before we sign off?
On Twitter, at Dioli74. And if you haven't followed Just Means Less, we are JML_ACC. And if you want to listen to our shows, we're on Spotify, Apple, Google Play. Monty has been putting out a ton of baseball content, off-season interviews with players all over the ACC. So if you want to catch up on some ACC baseball updates, I highly encourage you to listen to his interviews. They're really, really good.
Yeah, definitely. And if you are not subscribed to this channel on YouTube, please like and subscribe. You know where to find me at Savannah2J, the number 2 and the letter J. Yes, that's how you pronounce my name. Please follow me on TikTok. I just started posting TikToks and it's funny, but they're like a little bit longer, just basically Twitter thoughts and videos. But follow me on TikTok and happy